love the sound of that beat. I think it's going to have to be a shame. I think we're going to have to flip it. I didn't talk to you about that, by the way. Welcome, everybody, to the Black Sheep Perspective. Y'all caught me slipping. I was all in the zone with that beat. It's a little controversy about keeping that beat. I got to make sure that no one can come after me in the future when we push Joe Rogan aside and take this motherfucking world over.
I like that beat.
Hey, Gus. Today's a big day, man. Today's a big day. We got an amazing guest. I love all the guests that are coming by. And also, we got a huge, huge fight night tonight. I know we'll come back to talk about it later with our guests. But we got several friends, several local people fighting at the Bare Knuckle FC being held in Fort Lauderdale. Today is February the 15th. If you haven't killed yourself over Valentine's Day, welcome to the Black Sheep Perspective. We're about to turn it up. How you feeling, homie?
I feel good. Today's an exciting day. We have a special guest.
Special guest.
Introduce these
yes,
beautiful women here.
I'm going to introduce you the right way. Folks, we got one of the most up-and-coming badasses in the female fight division. She is a flyweight who is 2-0 for Bellator Championship. Bellator is probably second, if not third, whatever, famous fight league, right under the UFC. She's making her way up to the top rank. She's making a lot of noise. She's a hometown girl from Miami, currently residing in Coconut Creek, Florida. We're going to find out a whole lot about her background, her parents, how she brings all this beauty with such ferocity, because she's a bad motherfucker. I want everybody to welcome Valerie Loureda.
Hey guys, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to speak. I haven't spoken in a podcast in a while since my last fight, but I'm glad to do it today with you guys.
Awesome.
When's the last interview you had?
Depends. For Exathlon, I had interviews, but I got back and I haven't done one since. So this is the first.
Is there a reason for it? A specific one?
Honestly, after the show, I went through a lot. Okay. And that show was very hard on me mentally and physically. But after the show, I basically needed some time for myself, to spend time with my family. I didn't see them for 3 months. And just get back into fighting, get the passion back for what I'm doing, and get back to the training rhythm, which is the hardest thing to do.
So I want to tell everybody out there listening and watching, and you, Valerie, actually, 9 times out of 10, I think I've only had one guest that I didn't spend some time with before coming on the show. Whether it's anybody who might be a future guest, I like to take them either breakfast, lunch, dinner. Shit, we can go have a couple of drinks and talk.
Yes.
But I like to break the ice with people, kind of tell them where I'm going to come at, just conversing with them, talking about life, whatever, seeing where they're at. I really haven't heard any details about what you're kind of alluding to right now in regards to what you went through, how, I'm going to kill it. Exathlon.
Exathlon.
I'm gonna from here on now, like if this was like.
I'm gonna just say Telemundo.
Well, I was gonna say X. When you guys hear me say X, I'm talking about the show that Valerie was on, which is EXATLON. Exathlon. I guess the T and the L is kind of throwing me off there, and I'm Hispanic, so fuck yourself.
Right? It's so hard to say.
It's weird.
When I got on the show, I couldn't say it, and the producer sat with me for 30 minutes. Exathlon. Exathlon.
What does it mean?
Oh my god. We'll cut that out because that's
I don't know. I don't know what it means.
How long were you on the show for?
3 months. Well,
oh my
wait,
god.
How long did I? No, I lasted 11 weeks on the show, but we filmed 12 days in advance, and then I came back for the finale, so it was like a total of 3 months and a little bit.
Well, you lasted all 2 minutes without putting that mic close enough to your face as well.
Sorry.
She told us to remind her, guys. If you're listening, she said, hey, you got to remind me because I said, you're going to get into the conversation and you're going to miss the mic. And
no, you're right. You're right.
Your beautiful voice.
I was like, I've done this a lot.
Yeah, she's over here like,
I'm so fake.
I'm in broadcasting and, I'm going to be a rapper. I know how to hold the mic.
I know.
But, Valerie, where are you from? Where are your parents from?
So, my mom is Cuban.
Okay.
And my dad is Cuban Venezuelan, but he was born in Venezuela, but my whole family is Cuban. And my grandpa, my mom's dad, is Peruvian. That's why I'm kind of chinita. But that's my family. I'm Cuban, a little bit Peruvian, and I'm American. I was born here.
Latinos know this. I guess most other non-Hispanics won't know this. Peruvians, for whatever reason, have a lot of chinky eye. They got a lot of Asian in their blood. I'm gonna kind of jump the gun and assume that that border of South America was the shorter route from the Asians who come over here to the Americas, kind of the same way that we go to California versus Miami. So they had a lot of influence over there, and then you had mixed breeds. So you got a lot of Peruvians that are Chinky.
Yeah, my grandpa's Asian. It's so funny.
Is he really?
Yes, he looks Asian, but he's Peruvian. But that's where I get my eyes from. My sisters too.
How old's your sister?
I have 2 younger sisters, both black belts too. A little one that's 12.
Black
and
belts in what?
Taekwondo. Yeah, a little one that's 12, and my other sister's in UCF, and she's 19. Yeah.
Let's talk about that since you mentioned Taekwondo. This is what you're initially most famous for going into the fight world, because you were, well, tell everybody, when did you guys start Taekwondo, and what did that take you?
Okay, so my father has owned a Taekwondo school in Miami for 34 years. Master Feng Taekwondo Academy. It's right by here on 139th and Bird. And my dad is an 8th Dan Grandmaster in the sport, and we were born into it. We were born into fighting, but my mom wanted us to be very feminine. And I was the firstborn, so I was extremely into Taekwondo, training every day until 10 o'clock at night. My dad was crazy, and my mom was at the extreme. I would have my ballerina leggings under my Taekwondo pants, and I would spar on Saturday mornings and go straight to ballet, go straight to ice skating, etc. So that's who I am, and that's why I'm this way. You know, I've been doing the both.
Because you're definitely no tomboy.
No, I'm the most girly girl you could ever imagine. Like, if I don't see glitter, like, I'm just really weird. I walk into the gym with my purse, and like, that's my sparring bag, and that's who I am. It's not a show. It's who I am.
If we didn't know you, if I didn't know you personally that you were a fighter, but looking at your Instagram, I think you're like an Instagram
model. Yeah. I hate when people say that. Like,
why?
Because they're like, oh, you're an Instagram model. I'm like, no, I'm not. Ever since I was in high school, I've always loved photography. I've always been into entertainment, right? So I've always liked posting pictures. I have my style doing it. But fighting has always come first. But, like, I'm both. Like, that's that's what I do. I have my style, and I have the way I train. If I don't feel cute training, I don't train well. And that's really what helps me. Yeah, that's what helps me get into camp, looking good, feeling good, and having cute stuff.
Well, I think I got several opinions on that. One, it is what it is. Social media has changed how people look at things. Now you compare it to everything that comes off social media, a fucking meme, whatever it is. It's like, are you doing it for the gram, or is that really you? You know, or then they flip it. Hey, you're an awesome person, but I saw you doing some gram shit. You know what I mean? Are you faking the gram, or are you faking? And then you have the other extent, which is
put her on blast.
Yeah. Oh. then you have the other extent, but this is where people don't pay attention. And for those listening, we just put Valerie's Instagram on our screen here. But you are a brand, and these where the haters don't get what you're doing. You are a brand. You are the product. Okay, you are performing and selling yourself through your performances, through the way you talk, through your interviews, through everything you want to do. And we're going to talk about X.
X.
I said it right.
Not an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
X. Don't ask me.
No, we'll talk about it too.
No boyfriend talk, please.
Okay, we'll leave that alone. But anyhow, when you were on the show, so you have to sell yourself, and part of that is doing these modeling type pics, you know, that we just looked at right now, and the haters are gonna hate, and it's not that you're trying to be a Instagram influencer, but you know, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and sometimes I get judged by that, because they see me and they look at my Instagram and they're like, oh, this girl just likes to post pretty pictures, etc. I'm like, no, I'm a fighter. Like, come fight me, let's spar Thursday and you'll see, you know what I mean? It's just who I am, you know. Yesterday I posted Valentine's picture, and it went a bunch of pages. Barstool posted it, and I was like, honestly, I didn't even post that I literally posted. I was like, oh, I love this. It looks cute, and I took that picture myself, like in my bathroom. Like, I took it myself, and everyone's like, oh my god, this and that. I'm like, I didn't do it on purpose. Like, I looked cute.
If I was your manager, I'd be like, do it again, do a different one. Wait
he does. I'm always like, Abe, is this too much? Is this good? He's like, it's fine.
I guess, you know, there's so many ways to look at it, man, because it all depends on what you believe, and I don't know, man. I think, once again, Instagram or social media is making it harder on others than what it should be. When you got everybody trying to do it, but they're doing it because of low self-esteem issues, they're doing it because they only have 2,000 followers and they're hoping to hit 3, you know, let me show a little bit more cleavage. When you have that, then you have the comparison. But when you're already somebody who's made it to where you've made it, you know, you have 190,000 followers, you're 200 as a professional, you got a lot riding here. That's different. Now you Here's where it flips. If you do some dumb shit, get in a fight at a bar. You know, backhand some random dude, like if you were Conor McGregor, you know, whatever, something like that. Shame on you because you're in the limelight. You know, you're a nice, you know, somewhat low-level celebrity. You're there. You're making it. You ain't supposed to do shit like that. But you're supposed to do the opposite. Yeah, if I was your manager, hey, Val, I need you to put some nice clothes on and do this and do that because, you know, remind people
and honestly,
you're gorgeous.
It's
you know?
not me if I don't post like that. You know what I mean? Like, since I was little, I've been fighting with my mom. Valerie, take that off. Valerie, like, literally, my mom's... Even yesterday, I posted it and she was spamming me. Take it off, take it off. I'm like, Mom.
Why she didn't like that?
No, she doesn't let me post anything. I'm like, Mom, like, this is who I am.
I don't live home no more,
and I
Mom.
know how much is too much, you know? I'll never post something that's too much. And plus, I've always been known to be very elegant, very... just easy to talk to. Just I have a good brand and I like being an influencer for women and children, and that's what I do.
Well, you're doing great. Fuck the haters. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Okay, so you guys got into this taekwondo. Your dad, you know, did what he did, taught all of you guys. Now you went to the Olympics. This is right?
No.
You just champion in taekwondo.
It's Olympic style, right?
So yes, we did Olympic style taekwondo.
Okay.
And basically I traveled the world with my father, ranking Olympic points to make it to Rio.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we did, and I went to the Olympic qualifier in Mexico, and I lost to Canada, but it all kind of worked out because right after that, my mom got diagnosed with AMA leukemia. So that was like out of the picture, and I had a fallout with one of my taekwondo coaches, and I just didn't know. I knew taekwondo wasn't going to be how I was going to make it in my life because taekwondo fighters are tall, very skinny. Like, that's not my body. Like, I don't have that structure. Yeah. Taekwondo's Olympic and it's electronic. So it's just a very weird, and it wasn't aggressive enough for me. So it's basically like you tap and a point goes up on the system, but that's not me as a fighter. It's not my dad as a fighter. That's not our style. And I never in my life thought I would do MMA. And one day I was watching Romero versus Whittaker, and I saw the girls fighting previously, and I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, these girls are getting paid to fight, and I'm not. Like, I've been doing this my whole life, and that's where MMA was born for me.
There you go. So then, how far into taekwondo did you finally decide to start mixing it up with, I don't know, what was it, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. So originally I was like, okay, I could do both. I could do MMA and I could do taekwondo. And I had a boyfriend at the time, and he was training MMA, and I didn't know anything about it. He was like, Valerie, you should look into Bellator. You could fight there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Bellator? Like, what? I didn't know anything. And I just started training, and I just started sparring. I'm like, oh my god, this is so fun. Like, I could be creative. I could do whatever I want, you know?
Right.
And that's where the love was born. And actually, I was training MMA, and I still competed in a G2 Olympic Taekwondo competition in Vegas. I went to the UFC PI. I saw my friend Veronica Macedo. I saw this. I'm like, this is for me. Like, I feel it. I see the vision. I know this is for me. I came back. I gave up Taekwondo. I'm dedicating my life 150% to jiu-jitsu.
You know, I love the way she says.
Is that your favorite style now? Is jiu-jitsu?
No. It's not, but I have to make it my favorite.
It's the one you struggle with the
most?
most?
I mean, I didn't do ground at all in my life, although people don't know this, but when I was little, my dad would just put me back-to-back with boys and just wrestle. So I do have a little bit background. It's just very natural to me. I love the touch. I love the feeling. I have a very good natural defense and a natural scramble. Basically, I just force myself to love jiu-jitsu because I need to get on the other girls' levels that I'm fighting against, and that's what I'm doing.
And how's that coming along? You feel like some people, they get striking a lot better. And for those of you listening who are not sure what I mean by striking is anything that has to do that's not grappling. So you're talking about punches, kicks, knees, elbows. What does that consist of? Boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, Kempo, karate. So when they'll pick up striking a lot better than they would the jiu-jitsu game, because jiu-jitsu is very it's like chess. It's like chess, live in motion. Are you feel like you're picking it up pretty good? Is it coming around?
That's why I made the decision to change my camp to American Top Team in Coconut Creek, because they have the best grapplers in the world. I'm like, if I have to learn, I'm going to learn with the best woman at this, so nobody could ever catch me in a submission in a fight. Because basically I go fight with girls, and what's the first thing they're going to do? Take me down, try to submit me, you know?
Right.
So I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I will never allow that to happen. And I went to American Top Team, and at first, I was just getting submitted. Like I had to learn how to tap. My ego, I was like, I don't want to tap, but I had to learn how to tap. I got hurt. I learned my lesson because people would snap my elbows. I'm like, oh no. So first I was learning basically not to get submitted, and then basically defense, and now I'm in that point where I'm learning also to submit as well, you know? So my defense game is very good. Now I'm also learning to submit, which has some submissions, but I'm like really technical, you know? So
you went directly to Bellator without ever doing the MMA fights in the local scenes, or did they take the taekwondo fights as enough experience?
No, you did amateur MMA fights, right?
Yeah, I fought 4 amateur.
I was at 2 of them. And I totally forgot. And you beat this white girl. You guys had a nice little scrap for combat night.
That was my last amateur fight, actually, with her. And I just have so much experience in martial arts, and people don't understand that. I'm 21 years old, but I've been doing this since I was 3. And Taekwondo is different, but Taekwondo, the way my dad raised me, is vicious. It's aggressive, you know. So I was like, I know myself. I know what I could do. I'm going to fight amateur to get the MMA experience in, and then I'm going to go into pro. I don't need any pro fights locally. I'm going to go pro because I've been doing this my whole life. I have amateur experience, and I'm training with the best in the world. And if I'm training with them and I'm at a competitive level, there's no reason why I can't do that in a cage.
That's the same exact concept it's the same way I see it. Mm-hmm. That's why I refuse, and I've told him, he knows this, I refuse to fight local.
Yeah.
And I am getting the attention to fight at the bigger cards, which is combate. I don't feel it's necessary for me to fight local.
No.
It's a waste of time.
That's how I saw it. I saw it's damage for no reason. Yeah. Honestly, I could fight on a big platform and win because I know myself. What did I do? Without a pro fight, I opened a main event for Bellator and I knocked her out in the first round. Yeah. That's who I am. So I just perform better under the lights and the
that little 10-second clip right there.
Bring that up. You got to check it.
Oh, yeah.
You heard me?
What?
Try to bring that up. Her fight when she did that.
That was.
Tell us, walk us through that first experience because obviously you've been competing, so you know I would imagine you have the nerves, you know, pretty under control. But this is you're live on camera. You're in the main event. You're on the main card. There's a lot of hype coming behind you.
Every girl's after me.
And here's the worst part. You're a beautiful girl. So a lot of time people hate on that. She's too pretty. She's too pretty to be good. And all the good fighters, you know, they're like a 5 or less. You know, there's no way she can. So there's a lot, you know, of pressure on you. How'd you take it? How'd it go? Walk us through this. Where was this Bellator fight at? Where were they having it at?
In the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, a huge casino.
Okay.
Yeah. Originally, they had 2 cards that weekend. It was Friday on Valentine's Day, which that's why all my fight clothes is pink. And then it was Saturday, and that was the one with, do you remember, Czech Congo?
Yes, when he fought,
Yeah, that card. I didn't even know who they were. I just cared about my fight. But I didn't know I was fighting.
She's keeping it real, bro.
Yeah. That's I really didn't know. Like, my sister was like, Valerie, do you know who's on this card? I'm like, no, I just care about winning. I don't care about anything else.
Fucking big nigga and speaking fucking fancy French. I don't know.
I have no idea. But my manager didn't even tell me I was going to open the main event. And they're like, no, you're fighting Saturday. And you're opening the main event. I was like, what? What? No one told me this. Like, no one prepared me. But it worked out for the best. You know?
So what is it? How do you feel when you first get ready for this fight? We have this up here right now.
Ooh.
The hammer fist. Oh my!
You know that girl's actually pretty good. Some of my coaches,
God, that ref could have stopped it early.
Yeah.
I was looking at him like, are you gonna stop? I was like, I think I hit it like 18 times.
Dude, and then you just started crying.
Yeah, because there was so much that went behind this fight.
Of course,
you know? It's like my whole family's legacy, you know. The first thing I started screaming is, "Where's my belt?" And people thought I was asking for like the belt. Like, I'm like, that's not what I mean. I mean my 4th degree master taekwondo belt. Like the other belt, that'll come.
Did you see how she did that, Gus? She held her hand. So when Valerie threw the jab, she threw a lazy jab on purpose, held the hand, kind of like Lomachenko-like, then came across with her cross hook. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
Bro, you must have landed. Watch. She holds her hand. Boom. You see that? Yeah. That was good. And then bam, the hook.
Actually, in that fight, in the first 5 seconds, I didn't realize the reach that she had, and she she broke my lip. I was like, oh no, this is not going this way. I'm about to kill you.
Dude, that's literally like 12 fucking hammer fists.
That's way more than 12.
No, can we talk about why I decided to hammer fist? I'm so ratchet, right? Like,
why is that ratchet? But why is that ratchet?
It is ratchet because she's the fighter. She's supposed to be putting
I
back
couldn't
and
even
dropping
elegantly
knuckles.
like jump on her like full mount and like
is-
punch
no.
like a normal person. I had to just just went crazy. Like that literally shows like
The Miami and
the
you.
Miami ratchetness from when I was a baby.
That's not ratchet, bro.
You're right, though. Hammer fist.
I think
hammer
it's
fist is very
ratchet.
effective.
It's way more
I
efficient
love it.
from a siphon.
But-
Position.
I don't know why that came out. Like I have random things that come out naturally. I'm like, where is this from?
Born and raised in Miami. It is what it is. It comes out of
My
us.
dad's crazy too. That's
Yeah.
it.
What high school did you go to?
Our Lady of Lourdes Academy.
You went to an all-girls school?
I went to an all-girl private Catholic high school.
Yeah.
I went my whole life. I've gone to private school Catholic since I was.
Have you had any
3
nuns
years
hit
old.
you up from there?
Oh, they can't play my fights because it's like rated R. You know, but yeah, all of them. Actually, I
They
started.
follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, they do. They follow everything I do, but I started in that school, the broadcast journalism program. So I was the first class to have that. So all the cameras, all the equipment, like if you go into their TV room, it's me. That's what I did. I interviewed Gloria Stefan, like, but I was also homeschooled during high school because I was also training for the Olympics. So I missed out on a lot in my senior year.
I feel like anybody who was heavily dedicated into sports. Me and my brother weren't able to go to prom because of wrestling. And
Yeah.
once you're heavily dedicated, it's...
And honestly, it's never bothered me because
Yeah, I don't regret it.
I'm like, I'm doing things in my life and sacrificing things because I see the bigger picture. You
Of
know,
course.
I was so young. I was 18, and I was like, I just see it. I don't care about anything else. All I care about is
I mean,
my
but
future.
how much did you really miss out on?
Yeah, you know, and I look back at those people now, and they were all always so envious of me, and they never understood what I was trying to do in my life, and now they all try to hit me up like we're friends. I'm like, you made my life miserable, you know?
You weren't with me shooting ball in the gym.
Yeah, no, you were hating on me, thinking that who does this girl think she is, thinking she's
Yeah.
gonna make it in her life.
And another thing is, you know, when you're that young, it's not to defend them, but you know, you're immature. You're immature. You're inexperienced. You don't know any better. So the hate comes very naturally.
Yeah, and it's hard to deal with that. You know, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of bad vibes towards you. You know, everybody wants me down, and I just push up. Sometimes you feel like you're drowning, but you gotta keep going.
You feel like that still comes in your direction to this day?
Yeah. I'm struggling with that now. I mean, it's anywhere I go. You know, no one, like especially females, they don't want to see me make it, but.
Why do you think that is, Val? I mean, you're young. It's a difficult thing to understand now. Not to say that you don't or you couldn't have it understood, but why do you think to this day, 2-0, you're trying, you're doing good, you're making moves, you're staying relevant? Why is the hate so strong, and why does it come from women as well?
Jealousy. It's jealousy, and I'm not a jealous person. You know, I always try to boost everyone, but some girls aren't like that, and they try to just tear me down every day, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to prove to the world who I am and why I'm like this. You know, who does she think she is, looking cute before training? Who do I think I am? This is my job. Like, do you get ready for work? You get cute for work? So do I. Like, this is my job. I come here, and while I'm grappling, everything comes off. My eyelashes are everywhere, but I'm happy, you know. I'm happy, and that's who I am, and no one's going to change that.
What's your goal for this next year? Like, what do you have planned?
My goal is to fight 2 to 3 times and film something when it a movie gig, music video, a small film, something. My dad was an actor.
Are you interested, like you doing music or being in someone's music video?
No, being in someone's music video, but eventually I want to branch out into music as well.
What genre? Reggaeton?
Reggaeton, Spanish. That's my...
Who's your favorite artist right now?
You know, I'm gonna be very ratchet saying this, but I love Pitbull. Like, I've always loved
For
Pitbull.
real?
Yeah,
Man,
like...
shout out to Pitbull.
I've always...
You can always be in
I've always loved Pitbull.
We love
and
Pitbull.
I don't know, I'm just... Anything I could dance to. I was a dancer my whole life, so that, I don't know. So some way, somehow, I'm gonna tie everything together, but my priority is fighting. But I do want to get into acting and entertainment.
So you had a little bit of... It wasn't acting. It was entertainment.
It was acting. I mean...
Well, there was some acting. No, I was going to say about...
It's
X.
Alone, yeah.
Yeah, so...
So the show was, like, the games were real. It's very competitive, but all the realities you film and stuff, it's
That
acting.
part is right. It's stage. A whole lot
It's
of
acting.
stage.
It's reality TV being filmed 24/7.
How did you get approached for that? How was it that your manager or yourself you got approached for that?
No, they
that
wanted me
segment?
to go on the season.
So for the people listening, try to tell them what exactly does the show entail? What is it about? How does that
So
go?
Exatlón is basically like Survivor, but it's famosos, so famous in their sport against contendientes, which is contenders. Like out of 40,000 that apply, they choose 10 of them. So 10 and 10.
Okay.
And every Sunday's elimination, and then Mondays you compete for the fortaleza, the mansion, or the cabin.
We'll pick up from there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's my Instagram story. Let me see what they're saying.
What's wrong with this one?
No, it's not recording. What happens is it just stops recording out of nowhere.
I've been holding that sneeze for like 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, nope, everything's good. The focus is this and that, but then it is.
all up again.
Wait, someone just said to me that I'm ghetto.
I'm eating. You don't know my
Val, listen.
Oh my god, I always
Into the
tell my
fucking
mom.
mic, woman.
I know,
You
I'm
can-
not.
No, you are not.
I thought I was
You
close
are
to it.
not.
I don't want to get too
No, huh?
close.
Maybe it's because you, no,
And
you're
I'm
not.
trying to get her to look at me because
Yeah, I saw you do it plenty of times. And she's not catching it, but I didn't want to do it because I'm right in front of her. I didn't want to throw her off. But yeah, you got to be like I go up to him where it basically
Okay,
almost
go ahead.
brushes me.
My bad.
You haven't met Pitbull yet? No, knowing Big So Cool Yuli?
No, I haven't, but I will.
For real?
I will. Or I'll meet him on my own.
Hold up. Yeah, that'll come like nothing. Make that happen really quick and easy.
It won't work from that side.
Well, it did the first time.
She
Right.
definitely sounds Miami. I do.
Oh, it's because it's screaming now. Is that why? Is it on? No.
It hasn't been on?
No, yeah. I'm talking about, hey, make sure if something happens to your screen, you tell me. She's all in her fucking IG world.
When are you fighting him?
No, it's not gonna work.
All right, shoot the battery.
Take the letter out.
Okay, so I promise I'll get really close.
Not really, not weirdly close.
No, I'd rather she gets better close, bro. It's not gonna go wrong. If she just barely gets right in front of it, like you about to kiss a guy for the first time. Yeah, you're right.
She said,
She went right in with the tongue out.
I'm always, my line is like, people are like, you're crazy. I'm like, too many kicks to the head.
That's why I
I'm
tell
taking
people,
way too many kicks
I
to
have
the head.
horrible memory.
Oh, you do?
My memory is ass.
No, I have okay memory. I just,
Sure.
I'm not really good at
Have you had a
recognizing
concussion yet?
faces.
Or no?
Yeah.
Major concussions. You haven't had any surgeries yet, have you?
My foot, I actually need surgery again, but I'm always fighting, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've had 2 surgeries already.
That's a tough one because then it takes you out for
Yeah.
a minute, and that's why you gotta choose the right time. That's why so many fighters.
If it's not major,
Then I'm not doing
Don't do it.
exactly. Especially my foot that I kick every day.
I fractured my jaw before one of my fights, and I still fought, and I didn't do anything after 4.
What is that called? TJM or when your jaw's like out of place.
Yeah, so what they did to realign it, to pop it back into place, you know the little wooden sticks they put in your mouth? They stack them. They stack in your mouth till your jaw opens as wide as it can, and then all of a sudden it just goes cut, and it falls back in place, and then they take it out.
Well, no, that my last amateur fight with that girl, I decided to smile while she was punching me, and she hit me in my jaw, but my jaw was like sideways. I couldn't open my mouth for like 2 months. I was really scared.
Damn.
Yeah, but I learned my lesson. I was like, punch me.
But you can't. That showboating shit will get you in trouble real quick. Real quick. Hold on. So you were on the
She was talking about what it...
the show.
The show, what the show entails. Like Mondays, I was saying Monday we fight for the Fortaleza or La Cabaña.
Yeah, that's what you just said that.
And just start straight from there. 3,
And
2,
to the
1.
All right, so you now Fortaleza. How you say that fort again in Spanish?
Fortaleza.
Fortaleza. I'm working on my Spanish too. So okay, so then what else?
So, for example, the show, it airs every day of the week at night except for Saturdays. So imagine how much content we filmed. But Mondays, we would always fight for the Fortaleza or La Cabaña. Fortaleza was a mansion. It was a nice mansion, whatever, but we had hot water, etc. And then La Cabaña was in the middle of the woods, like with nothing, un tubito de agua, and that was it.
Yeah, damn.
No, and I suffered on that show, no makeup, nothing for my hair. One time I cried so bad to the producers, please, I need conditioner. You don't understand? I have curly hair. I'm not like these other girls. I need conditioner for my hair. And then after 2 months, they brought me conditioner. But
Every clip you put on your IG, I watched. And they
Oh
gave
my
you some pretty dope fucking things. I thought you were like taking it all the way. I mean, you were winning everyone that I saw.
I made it pretty far. Actually, I wasn't good, but I would win when I had to. I always perform under pressure. So like Sundays was elimination. We're like every Sunday we have to win because we get paid another check. So let's try to all 10 of us stay here as long as we can and make as much money as we can. And Sundays Valerie would go out. I would lose during the week. Sundays I would go boom, win, turn it on the production. So.
When you win, whoever won, let's say it was you who won that event, this is like a relay. Everybody's involved. It wasn't just
Yeah,
you
it was
by
up to
yourself.
10 points. It was a team thing. I'd never done team sports in my life.
Okay.
And I also learned how to work in a team
Right, which
Yeah.
is difficult.
with 10 other people. Actually, one of them, Jose Carlos, one of my best friends, he's the fastest man in Mexico. He's been to 2 Olympics, 34
Wow.
years old. Yeah, so,
He had to be winning every running race.
yeah, he did. They had un circuito de rapidez. And he would always win. It was like 50 meters. But like Jose Carlos would go because I would come behind and it would make up for it. Like, it was crazy.
You say he was 34. Yeah,
Yeah.
To be that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
To be the fastest in Mexico.
Yeah, and we had
You
another
gotta
guy
realize
that
that's
he...
what cartel.
We had another guy that he played in the FIFA, the World Cup in Africa,
Wow.
Venado, and he's the one that won the show. The
Yeah.
one we least expected to win, he won.
Why did you least expect him?
Because he was like me. He was like, oh, ya me quiero ir, tengo mi familia en la casa, mis hijos, whatever. I'm like, Venado, tú vas a ganar. Because he was so good and he was amazing at punteria because the show had punteria. That's another thing. I was throwing footballs and balls. Punteria.
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 Get your
At the
head
end,
gutter,
I
bro.
heard
Look.
punteria.
Yeah, putaria. If you get a hole, depending on which one you get.
I'm not gonna explain.
For people listening, puteria, when you translate that in English, that's like acting like a bitch. That's like being a hoe, like you're hoeing it out. So when Gus heard that, he thought puteria. Like, what do you mean they're hoeing it
you
out?
would do the whole course, and at the end, they had punteria. So it's always something. Either you throw arrows,
Right.
or you have to
So when
make
she
a
says
ball,
punteria,
basketball.
she's referring to something that has to deal with accuracy, tossing the
Accuracy.
ball, throwing
Exactly.
something,
Things that I've
arrow.
never done in my life. All I
Right.
do is hit things hard, So I would get to the end and like the soccer players were so good. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But actually I was so good at the weirdest punterias. Like the
Really?
weirdest ones I was good at.
Ring toss and different
Yeah,
things.
like
that
the
nature.
weirdest ones you can imagine, except the ones that were like patience. Like one time they had a table with like a little marble and you had to move it until it got to that. I couldn't do it. I lost the 4 times that it was so embarrassing. I'm like, this can't be aired.
You're not a patient person.
No, at all. No. I wish I was. The show taught me patience, though, because you want to leave the show, but you can't. You have to have patience,
Val, listen, man, for
So
what it's worth.
that means you're single. You're not a patient person. That's 100% single right there.
Bro, why you, man? Valentine's was yesterday, man. We told everybody listening, go run into a wall or something if you're not over that shit. Listen, the show obviously exposed you many different ways in regards to weaknesses or vulnerability or whatever. What was some of your worst moments where you were like, man, fuck this?
Well, honestly, one of the girls, Norma Palafox, an amazing...
Damn, that's a name. Say that
Palafox,
again.
Norma Palafox. She's a soccer player in Mexico.
Wow.
Very famous, 2 million followers, like very young. She's 20 years old, whatever. But honestly, we didn't have communication to our families. But Masida had told me, bring cash on the show. Maybe we could figure shit out on the show, whatever. So I brought cash hidden in a bra. So I would try to.
Good looking out, George.
I would try.
Ratchet.
I would try
That's
to. I would
straight
try
Miami.
to.
That's Westchester right there.
I would try to pay like Dominicans on the set to like allow me to communicate with my family and stuff. Like I almost lost my mom into my life, So I have to hear her voice. I have to know what her health is, etc.
Yeah.
So I was always doing that, and I was trying to at least like when people weren't watching me or filming me, which was like 2 minutes of the day. But when Norma Palafox actually we had a beneficio, so we won a game, and they're like, okay, you have communication with your family for 1 minute. I'll record it. So for some reason, her camera was the only one that wasn't working, and they filmed her scene 3 times. And a month later, we found out her mom passed away.
Oh.
And her mom,
on the show.
while she was on the show, and that was her last. That was her last call to her mom. So that made me realize, like, the thing is that show brainwashes you, because you think there's nothing else in the world that matters that winning that show. It's really weird how it works, but they take everything away from you.
Exactly. That's why they isolate you.
That's why they isolate you and take everything away from you. So you're brainwashed into this world. I always felt like I was in the Hunger Games or something. Like I was in a big dome, and I felt like a little like computer tool basically. And we were the first ones doing those circuitos, the new ones. So it was just really weird. But after that, I was like, Valerie, this isn't real life. Like, this is all a game. Like, why are you stressing this so much? And honestly, my anxiety on the show was out of the roof. And I brought my gloves, my boxing gloves, and I would punch trees every morning. I would knock down trees. I would, break the sets. Like, that's the only thing I could do was box against trees. And you really learn to appreciate the things you have in your life. Even a boxing bag. Like, I'm telling you, like, I would beg the producers, like, is there any way you bring me, like, a bag or something so I could hit, because that's what I do. And I knew that I had to keep my fighting, like, somewhat going throughout the show, because I couldn't just stop cold turkey. So I was there, like, sprawling, like, sprawl, like, on my own, like, at 6:30 every morning when the sun would set. That's what I would do. The producers would get there, we would film interviews, we would film realities, we would go to the games. Whatever happened in the game, you come back at night, film reality, film interviews, eat, sleep, repeat.
How was the feeding? Were they taking care of you guys, at least feeding you?
No. This was my biggest problem, because I'm Cuban and I need to be eating right to maintain my body. I don't have a body like normal girls. If I have a pizza at night, I won't gain a pound. I'll gain 4. That's how my body is, right? So on the yes, and I had a problem in that show because they were feeding us terribly, not like for athletes that were performing on the show and were actually competing. And it was just all carbs, like no protein. And since you have nothing else to do on the show, you train a little bit, which you don't even have space to train, you compete and you eat. And that was my problem. So you had a
weight gain on the show.
Well, when I got on the show, I lost 20 pounds because I wasn't eating, because I was so scared of the
you were on fighting weight.
I was on fighting weight when I started. Like, if you see the show, this is something I haven't spoken about. But when you see exclusive. When you see the show, I got there and I was actually like, 145, right? Then I lost 20 pounds on the show in the beginning, in the first 4 weeks, because I wasn't eating. I was so nervous and so scared. My anxiety, I was just trembling. And then when I got comfortable in my environment, then I just started eating, because there was nothing else to eat. That's what they would give you, and you have to eat. Now you'll faint in the heat filming all day, which happened to me once. So I gained.
Fainted?
Yeah, I fainted. They had to take me to the hospital to rehydrate me. So then I gained like 25 pounds back. And when I got back, I was like, I don't know what to do. The first thing I did was I called my nutritionist. Like, you could tell I had gained weight on the show, but it was all the girls did, Most of them did, except the ones that had allergies to like the things that they were giving. But then I was like, okay, I need to train again, get back on my diet, get back in my routine, and that's what I did. So now I'm back to my normal weight, and when it's time for camp, I'll start cutting weight again.
Well, that experience, I think there's a lot that...
You have a hard time cutting weight or no?
Do I have a hard time?
Did you have to cut weight for Taekwondo or no?
Yes. So I've been cutting weight since I'm 11 years old. I was 11 years old, losing 6-7 pounds to compete at a U.S. Open. So I've been doing this my whole life, and I know exactly what I need to do to cut my weight. But I'm traumatized cutting water weight from my Taekwondo experiences. One time I fought at an Open in Germany, which I won. I got silver, but I was so dehydrated, like 20 pounds dehydrated, and they put me on a plane to Germany, and I just didn't wake up. They thought I wasn't going to wake up. I was that bad. I just had the worst experience cutting water weight. So for my fights, I work with nutrition, and I don't cut water weight. I cut 2 pounds water weight, but I diet. Like, literally, it's just a discipline dieting. I make weight, and now what I'm trying to work on is staying closer to my weight, not gaining 20 pounds back, But once I do that, then I'll really be at my highest performance level.
What's your what's your weakness when it comes to eating right? Obviously, when Lou was, by the way, shout out to Nutrition. That's his handle, Lou Nutrition, right? LOUTR.
Yeah, he works with John Jones.
Yeah, he works with Shorty as well, Shorty Torres. Cool cat. He's got a nice story as well.
His lifestyle is
when you're
different.
outside of being strictly on your, I mean, honestly, Val,
What's my
I'm a
weakness?
hard ass. I'm gonna tell you should just be fucking being healthy all the time. That doesn't mean walk around at weight, but you should just be healthy.
No,
Cut out the
but
bullshit.
you're right. The problem is that since I've cut weight so many years, I have a lot of anxiety. So when I'm not in camp, even if I'm not hungry, I just want to eat because I'm like, I can't eat this again for 10 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it's just mental. So I realized like that could turn into a mental disorder if I let it to. So I don't let that happen. When I'm off camp, the problem is that I get bored at night and like I just want to eat, you know what I mean? So I'm keeping myself accountable. Either I make someone come over just to make sure I don't eat or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's my problem. But I've gotten better at it and I'm closer to my weight now. I have to lose like 20 pounds, which isn't bad, 25 pounds. And nothing, I'm getting better every day.
So when's the actual next fight? Do you have one lined up right now or no?
Well, okay, so I got back from Ixatalon.
Which was at when you got back, like what, 4
November,
months?
right before Thanksgiving.
November, okay.
Right, and I really wanted to fight on the card in January. But on the show, I had an injury twice. 2 times that I had to sit out 2 weeks because my left ankle. I've always had a problem with that ankle. And I got back from the show, and I was like, I want to fight. But obviously, I wasn't healthy, and I couldn't get cleared on time for that fight. And plus, apart from that, I didn't spend time with my family for 3 months. Like, I had to spend time with my mom and my little sisters that they hadn't seen me for so long instead of going straight into camp mode, you know? Mentally, I couldn't do it. So I had to pull out of that fight because of my foot. But also, I didn't feel like I was mentally in the right place. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. I don't do anything halfway. And I know that these girls are training to kill me. So I need to be 100% prepared when I go into that camp. So hopefully we're shooting for April.
April. Okay.
Well, which card is there? What?
I'm not sure, but just that time. Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't know anything about a possible opponent. Do you know it's either gonna be one of these 2 or 3 girls or nothing like that yet?
No, there's this girl that keeps like calling me out or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I do want my manager. I don't know, but I just
You have to know who it is.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna make her famous. I'm not
Good
gonna,
call.
absolutely
That's how you
not.
do
I'm
it.
not gonna make her famous. She doesn't deserve it yet.
Keep beneath the shoe, man. Keep
But
beneath the shoe.
I do what my manager tells me.
Good. You're supposed to follow the guidance, especially if you believe in that. And you're with first round, right?
Yes, and I'm having fun training. Like, I really enjoy. I didn't get to train for 3 months on the show, so I came back. I'm having fun training. I've gotten so much better grappling. Like working with Mike Brown. I'm training with Joanna for her camp against Zhang. I've been doing her sparrings with her. I'm just in a really good place right now, and in a little bit, I'll be ready to go into camp.
Seems like you have become. I mean, you never know unless you're there, but. Seems like you become kind of this little sister to everybody over there, or the little niece, or because you're young. You're 21. Yeah. When was your birthday?
July 19th.
July. Okay, so you'll be 22. So you're fairly young in regards to just turning 21. These girls average between the youngest probably 26, 7-ish maybe, but they're more around 30, 31.
Me and Jillian are the youngest ones to talk to. Jillian Savage. Yeah. She's 25 now. We're the youngest ones there. But most of these girls started at my age. Yeah. But I've done this since I was 3 years old.
Right.
And very, very intense. That's why, like, it's different, I'm mature when it comes to martial arts and knowing what I'm doing, knowing the coaches I'm working with, knowing how I'm training. What I've bettered on is my intensity, because before I was way too much. Like, I was always training super, super, super hard. And it takes such a toll on your body. Yeah. And I remember, like, Amanda Nunez and Nina had told me, Valerie, you're going to learn how to manage your training so that you could get through it, That's what I'm learning now. I'm learning what to do when it's intense rolling, like when is 100%, when is 60, etc.
I keep checking with this for. I know that Gus is really on point with his.
Yeah, so at the beginning, I started with Amanda Nunez at MMA Masters.
Yeah. Old school, baby. That's a good shot.
I was a straight wrestler when I started over there.
Yeah.
I was getting my ass whooped.
Baboon was over there too.
Yeah, I started with them. But yeah, when I first got into my fight camp, I got, I was like, you're gonna fight for combate, and I went ham. I was doing 4 sessions a day, and at the end of the week, I had a cold. I was like, all right, I need to make things go the right way. So then I talked to my coach and started talking to other people. And yeah, you have to learn how to.
You have to learn, and that was my problem. I was too extreme or I was too not. And
You have to find a
now
balance.
I've learned this year the middle balance is very important.
The MMA world has matured and evolved a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, back in the days, and not even back in the days, I think it was like a year or two ago, Dana White was calling out AKA, which for those listening who don't know what that is, that's American Kickboxing Academy, very known gym camp. Excuse me. And where they at? AKA is in
New Mexico? No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, New Mexico. Well, that's where they got a bunch of studs out there. Cain Velasquez, Khabib.
Well, one of my friends, the
Yeah,
Peruvian, he used to train a top team. He's training there now. Fuerza Barzola.
Well, they were known for going too fucking hard.
Yeah.
Too hard, kind of like the Shootbox Academy in Brazil. They were just known for sparring way too often and way too hard. And then there were so many fighters, Cain, everybody, they got a big fight coming up, and then out of nowhere, they pull out. Why? They got injured. And it happened so much that Dana White called them out and said, hey, things have changed. Why are you guys going so hard? Why is this heavyweight sparring against a flyweight?
Yeah.
You know, 265 against 155, and then he rolls his ankle with him, you know, because he shouldn't be doing that. So it's come a long way, and fighters are learning, hey, we don't have to go in their gladiator zone every day.
Yeah, I'm currently learning.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because I was the type that I would just spar, and I would spar like hard just to kill, you know, like hit me as hard as you can. Like,
Yeah, and you spar with anybody. That's
with
it.
anybody. And when I first started MMA, my dad took me to a gym. He's like, this is what you want to do? Because, you know, he was a Taekwondo guy. We actually had problems because he didn't want me to go into MMA. He didn't want me to leave Taekwondo. He's like, oh, you're a Taekwondo guy. Well, I mean, he was like, oh, let's go to the gym. This is what you want to do? I'm like, yeah. And he's put me to spar with this guy. Actually, you probably know who he is. But he was like, just hit her to knock her out. So the guy spinning heel hook to my head, and I saw stars. And I went down, but I kept swinging. And that's when my dad realized, oh, she likes this.
You know,
We have a problem.
It's very cool.
Who was the guy?
He would train with Palomino and with Tigre. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know who Tigre is, but
No, but you say you trained with Palomino and Tigre.
At Tigre school, yeah. I went there once. So my dad took me. I love Tigre.
I was talking to a coworker of mine, Richie.
Mm-hmm.
Richie Ramirez. He used to train with you when he was still active over there. It was right before we became freedom fighters.
ATT
Yeah,
West
when it
Canada.
was still ATT
What's-
West
ATT
Canada.
kid.
Wait, what does he look like? I probably sparred him.
Green eyes? I don't know.
What did he- What did he
I'll
say to him? What did he say about?
No, it's funny. So he was
Crazy.
asking me about the podcast. You know what's going on with it because we were talking about bare knuckle event coming up tonight, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I forgot. You know, you're pretty active with everything because of your podcast. Man, I'm glad it's going good for you, so on and so forth." And I was like, "Yeah, man, everything's going really smooth, man. Things are picking up. And, matter of fact, we got a great guest tonight, man. Old training partner of yours. I don't know if you guys actually got to mingle." He says, "Who?" I said, "Valerie, Loureda." He goes, "Oh yeah."
no.
Man. And he literally goes, Richie in the middle. See right there.
Wrestler. Yes, I know exactly who that is.
So he goes, "Bro, she used to fucking come at me so hard, man." And I'm like,
I'm telling you, it's
and
true.
I literally asked him, I said, "Oh, she's trying to holler at you? She wanted to get with you?" He goes, "No, dog. Like we used to spar, and this bitch used to come at me like hard. Like she was always trying to knock me out. Like I don't get it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, maybe she just like that. I don't know."
No, but you know what the problem is that nobody would take me seriously. They're like, oh, esta niña que piensa,
Right.
que sabe, whatever. I'm like, que yo pienso que I'm gonna knock out all your fighters right now. Like for real, that's what it was. I would literally just spar to prove to the coaches that I was born for this. Like I'm really talented. I'm like, look at what I'm doing. You taught me something yesterday. I just did it sparring. Like, you know what I mean? It was more proving myself to those people around me.
So in some shape or form, even though you're still mastering your trade, knowing how to tone it, knowing when to do what, that is something that's been part of you, and it continues being you. You do feel like you still have shit to prove to people.
I've always been an underdog since I was little. I've always been an underdog. I love being an underdog, you know? I love being the one that no one expects to, and that's why I see pretty girl Instagram model. I'm like, okay, I'll show you. Like, I love it, you know? And that's who I am, and I always feel like I have to prove to everyone. And I never enjoy my success. Like, I won my first fight. I was like, second fight, like, I feel like till I'm not like 8-0 at least, I'm gonna start enjoying more what I'm doing. I just feel like I'm in a bubble and like this, which is not healthy. I'm gonna look back and be like, you should have enjoyed the experience, but I'm just so focused on.
To an extent, Val, don't knock yourself.
I know, but I'm like that. I'm too.
No.
extreme.
What I'm saying is, to an extent, I don't think you'll regret it and say that, oh, you were too locked. No, stay locked in.
Yeah,
Young people, it's not to insult them, but young people, because of the persona that's out there, because of the just whatever, what's been known. When you're young, you're dumb, have fun, do what you got to do, no regrets. You'll sweep it up later on. No. When you're young and you got the energy and you have the body that recoups a lot faster, and you have your mind can absorb a lot more, and that's when you need to develop the most you can. So instead of just dicking around for up until you're 26, 27, barely going through college, give it all you got now so you can retire early, so you can open up that business, so you can be successful in your trade.
I was also like, I need to hurry up. I need to catch up. So I would train every day as hard as I can, learn as much as I could to catch up to these girls, because I was like, there's no girl that's
But
gonna
catch up to what? Remember, you're 21. These girls are 30
Yes,
years
but
old.
this was my problem. I'm like, MMA is growing. MMA is the next
She probably felt
big
like
thing.
skill-wise in regards to like the jits and the wrestling, maybe.
And also, like, I was like, I'm going to be the first girl to do this my way, my style, and no one's going to be able to copy me. So I was, like, catching up to, like, I don't know, I'm still on that. I feel constant pressure. I want to be better and better and better. I want to be the best, and I want
You
nobody...
want to claim that as being
Exactly.
the first Taekwondo champ.
And I want no one to be able to compare themselves to me.
When you go against these girls, you have Joanne, I don't want to murder her name,
Joanna.
Would you say Joanna?
JJ.
JJ.
Yeah.
That's better. That's a better way. Obviously, you're not trying to disclose any secrets or too much information, but how do you feel your game is developing as you go against these these studs and these badasses? I think Nina's great. I think she's had 2 tough losses. One that I think she should have won. She's a great fighter. She moves a lot. When you go against these type of people, maybe Trisha Cicero, shout out to her, and then anybody else out there. You guys got a lot of fucking great women out there, man. There's like 6 or 7 bad ones.
Yeah, I was surprised when I went over there. I was surprised by the amount of girls I had over there.
Yeah,
that's why I'm there. Because I was only training with guys, and I've been like that my whole life. I'm like, I'm fighting a woman. I need to feel a woman's strength, because then I lose confidence when it comes to grappling with a man, because I'm like, I'm not strong enough. I'm not doing something right. But no, you're grappling man. It's completely different than grappling a woman. I was like, that's why I need to move to American Top Team in Coconut Creek, and that's what I did.
So how's it feel like being over there? How do you feel like the energy is over there? We've had several people from ATT come over here. We had Mikey Rodriguez, who you saw his signature here on the wall. We had Shorty Torres, and we've also hung out with a lot of them. We just know a lot of the crew from over there. What do you feel about the whole gym experience and everything that's going on? And you travel a lot of gyms. You've been with your dad. You were at ATT before it became Freedom Fighters down here. What's it like over there right now?
American Top Team Coconut Creek is the most professional environment you're going to find anywhere. And I love just how professional all the coaches are. You have a CIC, you have your coaches, you have your schedule. I work like that. I work, schedule, and the problem is that American Top Team is filled with all these stars, all these amazing fighters, and you basically, you're there, and they have the tension, but you're learning so much, so it's like a mental game too. But remember, if you get submitted, you're getting submitted by the best. So it's like, it's very tricky when it comes to that, but they're so professional. They're so amazing with me. They allowed me to train with the pros as an amateur, and my first coach was Steve Bruno, and now I'm transitioning to Thiago Alves. He's in a fight in bare knuckle. That's right. But he's an amazing striker. And
he is?
Yeah. He signed, Yeah, Thiago signed with bare knuckle.
I feel bad for whoever else fighting.
Oh, man.
He's amazing. He's my striking coach now, and
I love Thiago, man. I've been following him for a minute.
That guy is
been a fan of his for a minute.
He's amazing. Yeah.
But
so American Top Team is a pond of stars that you gotta survive. And
so you moved up close by or whatever?
So I was living with my parents in Miami. I'm also a full-time online college student. I go to UF Online. I'm finishing my last year. Exatlon held me back that semester, but I'll be done by summer 2021.
That's awesome.
Congrats. Good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I transferred to UF Online because they're the only ones that provided my degree to finish online, and I obviously can't go to campus.
Are you doing like media and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a Bachelor in Science of Telecommunication and Broadcast. That's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
So I'm a full-time online student, but when I was like, Valerie, you need to train an American Top Team, I was like, how are you going to do this? And I found a waitressing job in Tijuana Taxi in Coral Springs. And I've never done this in my life, but I learned to waitress, and I was making good money on tips. I would wear my yoga pants. I would be like, I'm a fighter. You can watch me fight. I was making money, and
notice how she said yoga pants.
Yoga pants. It's specific. And then I was staying in a crappy studio, like crappy studio. Like I couldn't wait for my first debut fight. With you know those grillers, like. You know those grillers that you connect to the electricity?
Like La Plancha?
Like La Plancha, because the studio didn't have a kitchen, so the plancha, I would make my chicken, my kale,
Everything.
my tomatoes, and my peppers. Those 4 things, yeah. And that's how I could wait for my first fight. I waitressed, I made enough money as I can. I paid una bobería like $600 a month, but I was living at a top team. I could pursue my camp and my dreams, and I was right there, and after I fought with Bellator, thank God, I found my 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in Coconut Creek, 5 minutes away from the gym. And I was like, damn, I leveled up. I was proud of myself.
And you obviously got sponsors now.
Yeah, now I'm sponsored by Monster Energy, yes. And
shout out to Monster. Hey, we need some sponsors, Monster. Goddamn it, come on, man.
Yeah, and basically, I know I have 2 fights, but I've been doing this since I was little, and
right.
I'm just, when you look at me, you could tell the passion I have for what I do, and I was just something like, I know. I was like, I know I don't have a lot of fights, but just trust me. I'm going to be the best fighter in the world one day. Just trust me. I know myself. I know my talent and what I could do. So, Monster sponsored me.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Oh, about Monster?
No, and that yeah, but you live in the studio, you sacrifice with them.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you pictures.
That's crazy.
I want to go back to that.
I
was just about to say that.
I would boil my pasta in a coffee pot.
Hey, I know these fuckers are gonna make some noise, man. I want to.
Hey, that's your fucking call.
Hey, guys.
Oh shit, they can hear us.
Yeah, but I just muted it. It's okay.
I'm gonna give them a quick run outside because I'm not Capone. This bitch ass gonna make too much noise.
It's okay.
You hear them crying, right?
Yeah, they're so cute. That's why you keep.
Yelps.
Hey guys, so we're taking a break, and we're gonna start filming again soon. But hello, my friends, my family, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day. How did you guys spend your Valentine's?
Hey.
I'm like, where's my phone? It's right here. Oh.
Hey.
Hello.
Baby. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's go outside.
Dale, go outside.
Muggsy. Muggsy. Get your ass
Oh,
outside.
he likes it. I like this one. We're close.
Go.
Dogs.
Yeah, I want to go back to that because people need to know that struggle.
Honestly,
that
people
shit
don't.
They don't. They see the pretty face and the followers, and they just think you're full of money and you didn't this and that. Damn, dog, we forgot to put the lights on the floor. Yeah, it does.
I know, it's okay. That's good. It's true. I still have it. I kept it as a memory.
The yoga pants?
My little waitressing outfit.
Oh.
Personality. Get it out of here. They're gonna chase each other if you better not run into that shit. This is the game they play. Get him!
I should have brought Cham.
You gotten some pictures?
Yeah, I took a little video of her talking. Take some more pictures.
I'm gonna when we come back, I'm gonna ask her about the struggle, the studio and how tough it is and how fighters have to do that. That'll be a good clip as she explains that.
Mm-hmm.
We all got sacrifice, son. It's crazy.
All right, let's go.
I feel like the women do that, and then all the guy fighters do the same thing,
Yeah.
which is security.
And they're fast.
Pressure. Hopefully they're quiet now.
When they run around you gotta keep those knees bent. They will blow an ACL.
These are big dogs.
Yeah.
How much do they weigh?
About like probably 94.
No, down.
They smell chan.
Yeah. Nice shoes. I didn't even know anything on.
All right, you want to get this started?
Yeah.
Yeah.